Hello, everyone. Brady, Charlie, Garriet, Tubman over here. We're ready to bring you another week. Episode 24, I believe. I made it. I should know. 24, yes. We're talking some Crown Jewel. We're talking some Raw and SmackDown of the week. And I got to say, boys, I was a little underwhelmed on this week of wrestling. What do you guys think?
No wrestling.
Charlie, what do you think?
We had a couple decent matches here, but I mean, overall, just not their best week.
I agree. I mean, if it weren't for that Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman title match at Crown Jewel, wrestling would be a really bad week.
God damn it.
It was a great match. Really tugged on the heartstrings. All right, let's talk some wrestling. Let's start with some wrestling news. Stop the presses, boys. Dave Meltzer has reported that top wrestlers have been offered more money to wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling with less dates than WWE. New Japan's really been gaining a lot of steam as of late, and Dave Meltzer's probably creaming himself. Charlie, you have some theories on a couple guys that would be over that could maybe either go to New Japan or back to New Japan. What are you thinking?
Yeah, we definitely think Shinsuke is one of those guys they're talking about, 100%, which makes sense because Shinsuke was a top guy there, and he's kind of in the upper mid card here right now. So he's not 100% on the top, like Styles or Rollins, but he's almost there. And then I'm thinking, kind of just trying to think outside the box, but maybe Ziggler is one of the guys he's mentioning because we all know Ziggler would be over there. Maybe Balor. I mean, Balor, if he went back tomorrow, he would be
Prince Devitt.
Instant megastar again. Where, I mean, for the past year, he's kind of just been used as the guy who smiles and promotes rainbow-colored T-shirts. So, I mean, I don't know. He also mentioned guys like Mojo Rawley and Chad Gable, where they could leave, raise their stock, and come back, which we've seen done before by Drew Galloway. Also known McIntyre, other way. I messed up the name. But, yeah. I think Chad Gable would be huge on the Indies.
I agree. Garrett, your boy, Finn Balor, how much do you think that he would think about it?
Hold on. Yeah. I think absolutely.
We lost him.
Sorry, my screen went off.
You're good.
But the thing is that, like, he's always been bigger, I feel like, elsewhere he's been. Like, the only real long-term run he had was as the NXT champion in obviously in NXT. And then before that, he had a run as the junior champion over in New Japan.
Oh yeah. He has over 1,000 days combined.
So obviously they value him more as a champion, but if WWE did something drastic, like finally gave him his title shot, he's been waiting I feel like over a year for at this point, maybe that would make him stay, because ultimately the WWE's heavyweight titles are still, I would assume, more important to a lot of wrestlers, but I just don't know.
I think he's talking about Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle's going to New Japan.
I imagine Corbin. Corbin could.
There are a lot of guys you could get. I mean, I'm looking at the list right now. I mean, Titus O'Neil. Looking at guys that they've had some tolls taken on their body. He would probably like less dates.
I got one for you.
Matches. Jinder Mahal, if he had some time to put together a match with someone.
Imagine Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze would be big.
Ooh, he could just play the same character he played in NXT, and
if the Young Bucks really are on their way into WWE, then the Revival could skedaddle on out and run everything.
Oh man, they'd be huge.
They would be like the ultra gaijin heels,
they'd be real good.
They would have 5-star matches in Ring of Honor, or I should say Japan.
Revival Briscoes.
Oh,
bring it on! All right, another bit of news: Triple H tore his pectoral muscle, one of them. Not surprising, because these dudes are 80 years old trying to wrestle.
I really hope this is the last time we ever see anything like that in the main event. Like, no offense, it was just terrible.
It's not going to happen. We're getting Shane McMahon, Kurt Angle at Survivor Series, and we're going to see Shawn Michaels on Kurt Angle's team or something. It's going to be something weird. We're going to see Shane McMahon recruit the Brothers of Destruction to be on his Survivor Series team. We're going to get Hulk Hogan with Angle.
God.
We're going to have the team of Americans.
You're never going to be able to stop Team Raw, brother. Dude, I love, by the way, his hosting was like the best 5 minutes of television ever because he opened it up with, let me tell you something, brother.
I know. We had a real brother back on TV this week. Real brother. Actually, you know what? I don't want to associate him with me. Apparently, a lot of the people backstage did not want Hulk Hogan there. That's the reports from many different news outlets. All right, and then let's talk some first class segments of the week. Something you really enjoyed. We didn't even talk about who's doing what. Usually we talk about this. So Garrett, go ahead, man. What was your best segment of the week?
So I'm defaulting to something that's usually pretty good. Becky Lynch cut a promo on SmackDown that, if I remember correctly, was pretty solid leading into the pay-per-view. She's just so good right now, and she's so embracing the heel. I don't know if anyone saw it. There was a Sam Roberts interview with her 3 days or something ago or something like that. It was before the event, but it was post this promo, I would assume. So it was like the last press tour for Crown Jewel, and it was interesting because she's even now before, if you listen to interviews with her, she wasn't really in a character. She was just kind of being herself. Now she's fully gone. I'm the champ. I'm referring to myself in the third person, like The Rock, this is me, and she even highlighted in that interview how she's been kind of just doing what her character has been doing, which is just letting other people pass her by because she didn't have anything special about her in her head when she was one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and now she's kind of just embracing, nope, I got to push everybody else out of the way and forge my own path. So I think that was kind of the same thing she highlighted in this promo, and I'm excited to see where they take that in the future.
Becky's been doing such great work around the board. Just so good. Charlie.
I'm going to detour a little bit. I watched a lot of Japan this week. I'm going to take from Power Struggle. It was Ishii versus Suzuki. You could also do Evil versus Jericho. Both really fun, different matches. But I know, Brady, you like the brawler styles a lot, and that was something that first got me kind of into it, was just guys that beat the hell out of each other. And these two guys, they just literally stand up and slap the crap out of each other, and it was pretty fun.
It's one of those things, man, when you just get a nice big chop.
Oh, yeah, I remember we watched that Ciampa versus Samoa Joe match, and it was just insane with the amount of just stiff strikes that those guys delivered, and that's kind of what it brought me back to a little bit.
My first class segment of the week is we had to talk about this, the championship match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. So the report came out about 4 or 5 days before Crown Jewel that Daniel Bryan and John Cena, both of them were asked to be at Crown Jewel and declined, which John Cena, WWE will never let him go anywhere else. But it was kind of ballsy by Daniel Bryan. I think WWE could absolutely let him walk. I don't know why, but I think they think of him as expendable. And if Daniel Bryan went to New Japan, talk about names thrown out there. Talk about names to throw out.
You were talking about Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe could do time in Japan. He's done time in Japan previously, I believe.
Yeah.
So
it would be real good. But they're mad. So instead, there were two things that WWE was talking about. So either number one, they were talking about having the AJ Styles Daniel Bryan match at the Performance Center, recording it, and then playing it over the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. And that would have been interesting. It would have been a really cool dynamic to see the two of them in an empty Performance Center with a match as a unsanctioned kind of brawl. That would be very interesting. But they decided to just go ahead and do the title match on SmackDown right at the beginning of the show. That way they could set up the Samoa Joe match that we ended up seeing at Crown Jewel. And it was great. The ending sequence was so good. Styles went for a phenomenal forearm. Daniel Bryan countered, put on an arm bar, transitioned that into the Kimura, but Styles countered into the Styles Clash. and out of the Styles Clash went straight into a calf crusher and got the win. Just, it was beautiful. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure there's a GIF somewhere, GIF, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it's really, really good. You guys should go watch it. It's fantastic. But of course, there are some things that aren't the greatest.
Now it looks like he's
I forgot to skip.
getting on the top floor in the high rank district. Here he goes, crossing himself. Oh!
You don't even need to see it. We all know what that looks like, all right? We've all seen that. We're good. But there are obviously some stuff, and man, there are a lot of things to pick from. I mean, I don't remember the Bellas getting a big segment on this week's, so I can't even pick on the Bellas this week, right?
No.
Sad day. Also something else I liked. I like the Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins stuff they're doing. They're doing a slow build, which is nice. I'm going to say the thing I hated was the decision to – I know it's AOP, so is Gable and Rude. I hate this tag team. I don't know why. I never liked Bobby Roode, and it's bleeding over into Chad Gable. I really don't like Chad Gable anymore, and they won AOP against AOP and the Ascension. AOP are jobbers, the Revival's jobbers. We were so excited months ago about tag divisions on both shows, and look where we are now.
Yeah, terrible.
Raw doesn't even have tag champs, right?
Pretty much. They don't even know the belts.
So, yeah. Garrett?
Yeah, so SmackDown, while it had like one of the best opening segments of a wrestling show, with like 30 minutes of just raw wrestling between Styles and Bryan, it's interesting how let me just check. This is like 1 or 2 segments later, I believe.
Very next segment.
It just came down in a blaze of glory. There was another trick or street fight, and I believe if you go back through the catalog of all the podcasts we've done, I'm pretty sure I've made note about this every time that it's happened. Like, these themed matches, they're fine. They're for the kids, really. But, like, one, I feel like every time I see a performer take a bump onto a pumpkin, I feel like they're going to die. Because there's no way you can prepare for that. But, like...
Didn't, like, Cesaro get his face busted in because he was trying to wasn't he trying to wear a pumpkin last year and, like, got kicked in the face and he couldn't get the pumpkin off his head or something?
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, and these matches really add nothing to the show. They're just a gimmick match for a gimmick. Like, they could just have a street fight and call it a trick or street fight, but they have to put all the gimmick Halloween stuff in there. So it's like, whatever.
I mean, if you didn't see this, I'm gonna read off Bleacher Report's breakdown of the match. After the New Day cleverly made its way to the ring dressed as Gangrel, Edge, and Christian of the Brood, Big E squared off with the Bar's Cesaro in a traditional trick or street fight. Big E took the fight to his opponent coming out of the break, blasting him with a candy corn kendo stick across the back. At ringside, Sheamus flattened Kofi Kingston with a plate of pancakes before following up with a rolling senton on the floor. Back inside the squared circle, Cesaro sent Big E into a pile of jack-o'-lanterns, but only scored a 2 count. The action broke down as Xavier Woods and Kingston took the fight to Big Show, avoiding a chokeslam by spraying him in the face with red, blood-like substance that was once a trademark of the aforementioned Gangrel. Big E capitalized on the distraction and scored the win. Does that just – you really just – oh, man, I hope that's on my DVR.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good.
The Brood, them coming out as a Brood, that was funny because like the Brood entrance happened, and I was like, all right, whatever. New Day just doing New Day stuff, you know. But after that, it all kind of fell apart for me.
And then, Charlie, what were you not feeling this week?
I'm just gonna go straight to Crown Jewel, man. Yeah, you could probably pick. You could almost pick every match on the show, but I'll go with the decision to put the title back on Lesnar. I feel like we just took so many steps back to a point where, like, it really hurts watching Raw. It hurts it, man.
Imagine how different it would have been had they subbed in McIntyre and had him win the title.
Yeah. Or if Strowman wins, you know we're getting a Strowman-McIntyre program. We're not going to see this belt till Survivor Series, where he'll wrestle a 8-minute match with AJ and beat the champ that's been a champ for over a year. And then we won't see it again till the Rumble or Mania. I mean, I feel like they just took so many steps back. I can't even calculate it.
Yeah,
I understand.
The WWE Universal Championship on a UFC pay-per-view before we see it on a WWE pay-per-view again.
Yeah.
I mean, on Crown Jewel, and I'm going to run down the card here in a second. We'll talk about it. But on the card, the last 3 matches were won by Brock Lesnar, Shane McMahon, and D-Generation X in 2018.
That's so many steps back, man.
Brady, I keep asking you this. What year of television are we watching again?
Based on Crown Jewel, I'd say 2002.
Oh, yeah, see? We're on the same page.
It's not good, man. It's not
Kurt
good.
Angle was on the show, too.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're running down the card. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Rusev by pinfall to retain the U.S. Championship. That match was really good. Then we had our World Cup matches, which none of them meant anything. Rey Mysterio beat Randy Orton. The Miz beat Jeff Hardy in about a minute. Seth Rollins beat Bobby Lashley. Dolph Ziggler beat Kurt Angle. That match was pretty good. The Bard beat the New Day to retain the championships. The Miz defeated Rey Mysterio in World Cup Round 2. Dolph Ziggler defeated Seth Rollins. And once again, we've seen this ran back a bunch of times, but both of those matches were actually pretty good. Miz and Mysterio and Ziggler Rollins. Then we got into the Styles beating Samoa Joe was good.
Yep, that was fun.
But Brock Lesnar. But the other thing is Styles and Joe, I really just was not in the mood to watch them wrestle anymore. We've seen it too many times. And then we get into Lesnar defeats Braun Strowman. I remember seeing the time. I think it was like 2 minutes, 38 seconds. Baron Corbin hits Strowman with the title. Strowman takes 4 F5s and he gets beat. Shane McMahon stepped in for quote-unquote injured Miz, which was the plan all along. And I don't even know what they put this stipulation in that if whoever came out of the SmackDown side, if they lost, then Shane McMahon was going to fire them, which is stupid because if you're on the SmackDown brand, you're in one of these qualifying matches, you're like, shit, I'm just going to lose.
I'm not trying to get fired.
Why would I risk getting fired?
Yeah.
He can't fire all of us. We all just collectively lose.
Yeah, it's true. And
also, can we note how this tournament would have ended amazingly if we'd have gotten the redux of the feud between Ziggler and Miz from like 2 years ago?
Excited for it. I
was so hyped as soon as they reminded me of that because that was like 2 years ago. I feel like when that first SmackDown had flipped and we had Miz with the Intercontinental title feuding over with Ziggler. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Charlie was really hoping for a Randy Orton Bobby Lashley.
Oof. What year of television are we watching, Brady?
So Shane McMahon steps in and beats Dolph Ziggler to win the World Cup tournament.
Shane McMahon, the best.
But it wasn't a tournament. It was just he stepped in and won. And I understand you're going, that's the crowd. But there might have been people that had no idea who Shane McMahon was as a wrestler, like whatever. And then D-Generation X. Triple H gets injured. Shawn Michaels looked pretty good. Kane, Undertaker, and Triple H need to never wrestle ever again. And Shawn Michaels needs to wrestle 2 or 3 more times and then call it a career.
AJ, Rollins, Balor, somebody else besides Balor. I don't know. No, Black.
Was just not good. And don't even talk about the kickoff show. The only cool thing about the entire event, because it was stupid. The only cool thing about the entire event was that Renee Young was on commentary talking about the issues at hand with Saudi Arabia. So that was cool, but that was about it. So now we are merely a couple weeks away from Survivor Series, and there's been no build whatsoever towards it. And remember, guys, Survivor Series is the one night a year where Raw and SmackDown superstars go head-to-head.
Man, it feels like we just had a match between Shane McMahon and Dolph Ziggler. Wasn't that so long ago?
So let's talk about some things that we know are going to happen. We know that Brock Lesnar is going to face AJ Styles, probably beat him in 2 minutes, and unify the titles to bring to the UFC, in which he's going to lose to Daniel Cormier, and Cormier is going to walk out with the WWE Championship. So we already know that's happening. we already know that Ronda Rousey is going to face who? Charlotte?
Becky Lynch.
Oh, Becky. Okay.
That would
So
be awesome.
So Ronda and Becky will be really good.
Yeah.
So Bleacher Report predicts. God, they predict that the team for Raw is going to be Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley versus Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Rusev, and Daniel Bryan.
I'm so sick of Shane McMahon already.
Shane McMahon is going to captain this Survivor Series match, and it is going to be with Ziggler captaining the other one because he's going to be.
Didn't he captain the team like 2 years ago?
Okay, but what happens when it's not McIntyre and when it's Kurt Angle trying to lead Raw?
I can't, man. Shane was gone for 6 months, and I'm already sick of him again.
Oh, and what's annoying is that this looks like it's exactly going to be the women's match. Right now, prospective women's match. Riot Squad, Ember Moon, and Nia Jax versus Charlotte, Asuka, Naomi, and the Iconics.
Yeah. Even though we haven't seen Asuka on actual TV besides teaming with Naomi.
But you know what they're going to do? They're going to do what they always do with Asuka, and she's going to kill everyone and win for the team.
Right, everyone else will get eliminated. Asuka will just sitting on the apron, and everyone's going to be like, when's Asuka going to get in? And then everyone is eliminated, and Asuka just goes through all 5 Raw superstars.
And then we are confirmed that we're probably going to get the Bar versus AOP.
Shane was in the match last year.
Now, that's an interesting
year
match.
Before. He's been in it every time. Last year it was Team Angle versus Team fucking Shane.
Yeah, and it's probably going to happen again.
That's interesting because I feel like the AOP have done nothing to earn a title shot except lose a lot. So,
yeah, and then we'll have a cruiserweight match, 5v5, on the pre-show. We saw the debut of Lucha House Party, so we'll chuck them in. So it's going to be faces against heels. They predict Alexander Ali and Lucha House Party versus Gulak, Gallagher, Atami, Kanellis, and TJP.
On Survivor Series, what, on the pre-show? Because the cruiserweights, I guess, only feud with each other on Survivor Series because logic.
Right. Well, remember, it's the one night a year where superstars from Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head. They don't say anything.
Why don't we have some matches between 205 Live and NXT then, or something like that?
Imagine if they did something like that. 205
That'd
Live,
be interesting.
NXT UK, just fucking.
Or how about NXT and NXT UK? I mean, I know they're supposedly supposed to be the same group, but you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like if you took some UK people that you're never going to see wrestle against general people, like I don't know, whoever's down in NXT right now. Is Roderick Strong still there?
Yeah.
Undisputed.
20 hours ago, I'm clicking on a random website, Sportskeeda. All right, here we go. Here are some predictions. Number 7, AOP versus the Bar. I didn't even wait.
That would mean that they have them winning the titles.
Yeah, this is predicting that AOP is going to win the Raw titles.
It could happen tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you don't know.
They could do something tomorrow.
This one's confirmed as well. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke. Give me that one.
They said that one on Crown Jewel, I think.
Give me that one. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown Women's. So who are they? They're saying Charlotte, Iconics, Carmella, and Mandy Rose. And on Raw, Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Alexa Bliss, Ruby Riott, and Natalya. No thanks.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't ask you, bitch. Sorry. Oh! All right. Oh, no. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
No. I can't do another one.
Headlining.
I can't, man.
Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles. This was
we know it's not going to be Triple H versus Undertaker.
This was predicting that. This was before Crown Jewel. They were predicting Strowman was going to win the title.
Rousey
versus Lynch. We already confirmed. And then here we go. Yep, they're saying Team Angle versus Team Shane. Angle, Balor,
team in the world.
Now this would be cool. Angle, Balor, Gable, Cena, and Elias. I'd be okay with that.
That's
okay.
Cool combo, at least.
Against Shane, Corbin, Ambrose, McIntyre, and Ziggler. What?
Shane and Corbin?
Wait, what? I don't understand that one.
Is it Team Angle versus Team Corbin? Is that what he's supposed to say?
It says Angle versus Corbin, yeah.
Oh. Weird. So in this scenario, Why is Corbin helping out Shane? Or is Shane just helping out Corbin?
I think they're only doing Raw people.
Oh.
That would be weird.
That wouldn't be weird. Raw versus Raw. The one night a year when Raw superstars can fight Raw superstars.
Touchdown. Christian McCaffrey rushed to the right for a 3-yard touchdown. Graham Gano made PAT. Pancakes over waffles is currently beating London Silly Nannies 27.9 to 23.
There you have it.
I'm not looking forward to wrestling this week, guys. To be honest.
I'm curious to see what they're gonna do, but I don't know.
We're gonna have another SmackDown invasion.
I think I'm more excited for who ends up being on the World Tag League right now. That's about it.
What is World Tag League?
So starting November 17th, it's an annual tournament that they do where 2 different blocks and then the blocks face the ball. You got block A, block B. 8 teams in each block. They all face each other. The people with the most points at the end face each other at the World Tag League Finals, and then they get a match for the title at Wrestle Kingdom, I think. Somehow like that. I don't know. Or the finals at Wrestle Kingdom. I really don't know it anymore.
Wrestle Kingdom.
But it should be interesting.
What is this, Wrestle Kingdom 13 at this point?
Yep.
Oof.
It looks like we're getting Jericho versus Naito again.
I'm not mad about that.
Omega, Tanahashi, and then for the junior heavyweight, I think it's going to be Kushida versus Ishimori. So another Bullet Club.
Can I just point out that other than that Kushida Ishimori match, that all those matches have just been kind of swapped around over the last 3 Wrestle Kingdoms.
Yeah, it's kind of what they do with their top guys.
I mean, there was an Okada match somewhere in there for Omega, but I mean, still.
They have 4 top guys that they kind of just revolve around, which, I mean, in a way is what just happens.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, man, what do you think? We're going to get Lesnar, Strowman winning the Rumble now? Can we write that in stone somewhere? How much money would you put on Strowman right now?
Strowman actually has 3 different spots in the Royal Rumble because he's so massive.
If I had $500 to spare, I'd throw it on him.
I already know who's winning the Royal Rumble.
You think Strowman?
The best in the world, Shane McMahon.
And then he comes out at 29 and beats whoever was at 28, and then
I think Shawn Michaels wins the title, and Undertaker wins the title somehow before Mania, and they do Shawn Michaels versus Taker for the title main event
in 2019.
Shawn Michaels Taker, let's go. Bring it back to 96. Let's go, boys.
Rough pay-per-view, to say the least. Survivor Series.
And then Kane comes out, and everyone's like, oh, my God, look at the demon.
You know what, though? Hey, at least War Games has a sick build-up right now.
Yeah, War Games is going to be fun.
Happy. There's a picture that's on posted in a nearby town of, me and Charlie, and it's a Church's Chicken, and there's a bunch of chickens that got loose out front. And they captioned it, protesters are gathering.
That's pretty good.
All right. Anyway, that'll do for this week. Not breaking down the rest of the show. It's not even worthy of 80 seconds.
No, we covered it all. We're good.
I'm gonna go watch some football, I guess. And that's about it. I got some food to make. I'm making some bacon wrapped scallops, Garrett. You want some?
Yes, send me them through the mail.
All right, sounds good.
That would be vile.
That'd be gross. 4-day-old, hot scallops. Been sitting in the sun. All right. Catch you, brothers, later. Like, subscribe, click the bell so you know when we go live. Until next time, guys, we are out. See ya.